All right, well, good morning. And welcome, as every month, we welcome all the Under Thy Roof families. And as Father Houston always says, I saw him lurking, he's gone, welcome home. Welcome home. Because that's really our message today, is home, family, community, communion, relationships. It's said that home is where our heart is. Home is where your heart is, because we're all communal people. We are made to be in communion with each other. As God said in Genesis, it's not good for man to be alone. God brought all kinds of animals to Adam, but none proved to be a suitable partner. Now, obviously, God didn't bring him a dog. But seriously, yeah, pets are part of our families, but communion with other people is the foundation, So unless you enjoy living in a cave or in the woods by yourself, we all live in communion or in relationships with each other, whether it's our spouses or our children or our family, our friends, our parishioners. We all need connection. Connection is important. Because what's the opposite of connection? Isolation. Think about it. Think about COVID. And remember the song, "One is the loneliest number." Now, that's a lot older than most of you. One is the loneliest number. Think about it. It's separation. It's division. It's discord. It's divorce. It's disharmony. In medical studies, time and time again, they have shown that isolation will result in depression, anxiety, substance abuse, poor sleep, impaired mental functions, poor cardiovascular function, impaired immunity, and premature death. Research shows that isolation is as deadly to us as obesity, smoking, and lack of access to medical care. Isolation. So that's what Jesus is talking about today. We are not meant to live alone. We're meant to live with each other. It's essential for our well-being, our mental, our spiritual, our physical well-being. It's fundamental to our survival. And that's why many of you who were married were initially drawn to your spouses. Like the many young couples that we had married this weekend. I had Elise and Chad. Y'all here? I knew you wouldn't be. And then we had Justin and Sylvie, and we had Charles and Janelle. They all found someone who made them a better person, someone they wanted to spend all their time with, someone who they couldn't live without. That was the communion in their marriage between them. And as we were always taught in seminary, they always told the deacons that our only goal in life and our wives was to get each other to heaven. You heard that? Your goal in life is to get your spouse to heaven. And speaking for myself, I don't make my spouse's job very easy, but I don't know about you. But that is why communion is important. Communion with each other. But it's not easy, is it? It's not easy living with other people. It's not easy to be selfless, because frankly, many times we are selfish, aren't we? And we're called to holiness, but sometimes we're about as far from holy as you can be. And due to our human nature, we require a lot of forgiveness, usually over and over and over again. And it's easy to lose our patience, isn't it, with each other? It's easy to lose your patience with your spouse. All those things that you found so cute when you were dating, once you're married, they're not cute anymore, are they? They're annoying, right? We get impatient with each other. Hurry up, we're late. It's time to go, right? Francis de Sales said, the problem with that is that we're upset with ourselves. He said, don't get upset with others' imperfections. It's a great mistake that leads nowhere, because you should never get angry at someone else just because you're angry, or get upset at someone else because you're upset, or get disappointed with someone else simply because you are disappointed with yourself. That is what we do, though, unfortunately. But today we're going to hear about something, though, because Jesus talks about this, actually in all the readings today. It is a challenge for us. It's a challenge for all the families here. What do we do? What do we do as spouses, parents, friends, parishioners to protect and enhance the relationships that we have in our life? How do we preserve them? How do we enhance them? And the answer, Jesus said it today. Jesus told us the love of God, the Father, and the love from Jesus, our brother. Because on our own, we don't have the capacity to carry out a perfect, loving relationship. We just don't. We can't do it on our own because there are too many problems that try to rob us of our peace and our joy. The love of God and the love of Jesus is the only thing that can surround us. It's the only thing. It's the only bond that ties us together. It's like super glue when you're broken. The only thing that can put you back together. It's like a force field. It's the only thing that stops all the missiles of life from hitting you. That's what we want to know from God. God, will you please share your love with us? That is our journey in life. And there's a book called, another way to look at it, there's a book called Severe Mercy. Severe Mercy. And in that book, they call the love of God the shining barrier. The shining barrier. They say it's a shining barrier of a wall that surrounds their relationship and protects the garden of their love. And it starts with becoming one. Any married or otherwise, in all relationships, we become one, but especially in marriage. It's no more separateness. That's the killer of love, being separate. It is finding things you do together. It's I turning into we, to us. It's not focusing on what I want to do. It's focusing on what we want to do. Self is the danger. Self is the danger of love. And it's the danger against the shining barrier, because we have to realize God's shining barrier will surround us, but it's us and God. Just remember that. Marriage is not just us. It's us and God. So, my friends, don't we all long for this. It's easy for me to get up here and say it. We all struggle. How do we find this way? How do we find God's love and surround ourselves with God's love? How do we let God fix the things that we broke, right? How do we do this? Jesus said it at the end of the gospel. We have to be like children, not brats, children, like how children are. Remember how children are? No power, no prestige, no authority, no ambition, no desire to get ahead. Humble, forgiving, trusting. True greatness is not found in the climbing the ladder of success. True greatness is found in childlike humility. We have to stop doubting. We have to stop worrying. We have to stop controlling. Because Jesus reminds us that children don't worry about those things. Children just worry, and frankly, they don't worry. They just want to be loved, and they know how to accept love. That's the key for us. we have to learn how to do that again. We have to learn how to be loved and to be loved by God. We have to surrender, and that is the key. So as you think about that, think about this is a story. There was a young couple who, before they got married, they decided to seek the wisdom of a wise man to ask him, how do we make our marriage last forever? So he said, each of you pick up a stick and break it. So they picked up a stick, and they easily broke the stick. And he said, this is how easy it is for a person who is alone to be broken. Then he said, pick up 2 sticks and wrap a cord around those 2 sticks, and then try to break them. They did it. They picked up 2 sticks. They wrapped a cord around the sticks. They couldn't break them. That's when he said, now, no one can break 2 sticks when they're bound together, because when you're united together and surrounded by the bond of God's love, your marriage will never be broken. My friends, that's our challenge today. How do we protect and strengthen and nurture our relationships, our marriages? How do we do this? What is that shining barrier that we all look for? The shining barrier is love. Love from Him. It's the love of God. It's love, remembering how to be a child again, to actually accept love. That's what binds us. We can't do it on our own. It's more than just us. It is us and God. That is the key. Because on our own, we're like a stick. We're fragile. We're easily broken. But when we're bound together, when we're surrounded by that cord of God's love, my friends, that is what will make your relationships unbreakable. Amen?